Hey, what's going on everyone? Ryan again with RPKcustoms.com. Today we are going to be taking a look at a Sandstorm V2 that I just finished up for Jonathan. Jonathan reached out and asked me if I could build him a Sandstorm V2 using one of my V2 kits from my website. And I had never built a Sandstorm V2 before. This was the very first one that I built. I've always wanted to build one, but I've always been busy with other projects and I just have not gotten around to it. So I'm a little bit late to the game on this, but I think this thing turned out really well. And now that I have this finished up, I am definitely going to be building one of these for myself. The feel of this is a lot different than the V2, mainly because there's no real greeblies on this like there are the V2. There's no cone knob, boot stud, or anything like that to kind of dig into your hand when you're holding it, which I really like. And this one has the bubble strip. So if we go look at the reference photos of the Sandstorm V2, we can see that there is a bubble strip in there instead of the clamp card, which is a little bit different. And it gives this thing a whole different feel. It just feels really nice when you're holding it in your hand. So, like I said, this is on one of my spinning emitter kits, so you can see the emitter does spin. I don't recommend taking this apart just because there is grease on the rod in here, just to make it run a little bit more smooth. And you don't want to get grease on any of the painted parts. It'd just be kind of a pain to get all that cleaned off. You'll have to use degreaser. So it's better just leave it as is. If you feel the need that you have to take this apart, just be mindful that there is grease on this and try not to get the grease on the painted sections. For the neck, the brown color of the thin neck, you can see the neck is brown, just like we see in the reference photos and just like we see on the V2. The brown color I used is the brown that I mix up for my V2s. It's the same brown. And we can see there's no gaffer tape on the neck of this saber. It's not there in the reference photos. I didn't add it on this. You can see the emitter has all of the accurate dings. As well as the pommel. So the parts that were used for this build were a Roman Props replica Graflex clamp. I usually recommend Roman Props clamps for all of my builds. Wanawanga bubble strip, Wanawanga D-ring. The V2 lever is one of my V2 levers that were machined for my V2 kits. And the hilt itself, like I said, was one of my V2 kits that I sell on my website. This was done on the pre-damaged V2 kit. So I already did all of the damage. I basically just had to go through and do all of the accurate stenciling for the paint, which I tried to get that as close as I could following the reference photos. Which the reference photos of the Sandstorm V2 are extremely blurry and it's hard to see exactly where the paint is chipped. And you can see that there is paint still left on the rings of the grenade section, and we can clearly see that in the reference photos. And the thing that's really cool about this prop is that you can see the natural progression from the Sandstorm V2 all the way to the V2 that we see today. This is how the V2 looks today. You can see that there's a lot more paint chipped off, different clamp card. Show them side by side so you can see. The post-production V2 is the saber, the very first V2 that I ever had machined to my specifications. So this one's a little bit different than what this one is. You can see There is a small radius at the bottom of the neck that is not present on this V2, and the grenade section is a little bit more refined. It's kind of hard to tell because there's a little bit of leftover paint on the rings of the grenade section on the Sandstorm V2. But they are just a little bit different. Overall, about the same though. But like I said, I really like the way the Sandstorm V2 feels. I'm going to be building one of these for my own collection. I like it that much. I just, I don't know, I think it feels really good in the hand. And I like the fact that there's no gaffer tape around the neck, which allows the neck to spin a lot more freely than the V2. Even with the Trooper Trent gaffer tape adapter on there, it can still bind up every once in a while. But, you know, because this doesn't have any gaffer tape around the neck spins very, very smooth. And of course, I love the sound it makes. In the movie, in Return of the Jedi, every now and then you can hear this thing rattling around, you know, obviously on this V2, because this was a deleted scene, from a deleted scene. I just love the sound that makes. But yeah, I don't think there's really too much more to say about this. I do like this so much that I am going to be building a few of these, and I'm going to be putting them on my website, so keep an eye out for those. I've also got some more fully assembled and weathered V2s coming. Those should be back in stock soon. I'm just waiting on a couple parts from Wanawanga to arrive. It should be any day now, and I can get to work assembling those and adding them to my website. So keep an eye out for those. But until the next video, may the Force be with you.